Welcome to Flash Tutorial 70, a Christmas Snowfall Part 2. It's a follow-up to Tutorial 69, a Christmas Snowfall Part 1, which I have opened on my computer now. Lock all the layers, select the top layer, insert a layer, call it Snow, S-N-O-W, and select that first frame. Pick up your straight line tool, make sure you have a stroke of white, and let's stroke white. Open the properties panel and make that stroke size 3 if it isn't. Make it 3. With the straight line tool, draw a long one here. Draw another one the same size that way. Then a short one in here, and a short one here. That's going to be my snowflake. Selection tool, highlight it, modify it, convert it to a symbol. Movie clip is selected. Call it flake, F-L-A-K-E, 1_MC. Double click on it. Now we're inside that movie clip. Highlight it, open the properties panel. It's a shape, so go up to modify, convert to a symbol, make sure movie clip is selected, call it flake 2, F-L-A-K-E 2_MC. Now we have the properties panel open, and I have this filter again, and I want to add that another blur here. Down here, add a filter. I don't see, you're probably not seeing where it actually says add a filter because it's lower than my screen. Blur, and that's too much of a blur. It's, even though it's low, I want it lower than that. There's going to be my snowflake. Select frame 1. I have the snowflake highlighted, selected, and let's go to 100%. Click on the snowflake, bring it up to the top of the stage, bring it up a little higher so it's above the top of the stage. Go up to frame 35-ish, insert a keyframe, pull it straight down, pull it down, pull it down, and pull it down well below the stage. It is. Right click, classic tween. So we have this snowflake that's going to fall down our stage. And somewhere around frame 25, insert a keyframe. Find that snowflake wherever it is. Mine's almost down to the bottom at that point in time. Click frame 35. There it is at the bottom. It's highlighted. Open the panel, and here under style, under color effects, is something called style. Click alpha and make the alpha 0. So for this last section, when it's coming down, if you look at it, it's full alpha here, it's full alpha now, it's going to fade out. And some of these will fade out on the stage. Go back to scene 1. That's our movie clip right there. That little, I think that was my movie clip. Yeah, somewhere. Oh yeah, it's going to be way up here, right? There's our movie clip. And at this point in time, we want to make the code, write the code for this to allow this movie clip to fall down. But before we do it, we got to open the library panel. It's this one right here, this flake 1, I think that is called. Oops, let me make sure. Yeah, it's flake 1. So let's open the library panel, right click on flake 1, properties, and down here, gotta click this button, and when you do, you'll get, this will also click. You'll see the name of the movie clip up here, and here we want to give what's called an identifier name, and this is a name that allows us to write code to bring it onto the stage, because when we start there's not going to be any movie clips on any snowflakes on the stage. So we're going to call this snowflake, SNOW capital FLAKE underscore ID as an identifier. So snowflake ID. Say OK. And now we can come up here on this, click on it, delete it. We don't need it anymore. And this layer we can now call AS because it's an action script because there's nothing else on it. And now we're going to write the action code for this. Type. It starts off this period, create empty movie clip. Small t for this, small c, capital E, capital M, capital C. If you spell it right, it turns blue. Open bracket, quotation mark, holder underscore MC, close quotation mark, comma, 10, close bracket, semicolon. This means whatever you are, wherever you are now. In our case, we're on scene 1, the main timeline, so that's what this means. And we're going to create an empty movie clip. And an empty movie clip is a movie clip that we're going to put something in. And we have to give it a name. And I'm calling it holder underscore MC. That's the name I'm choosing. You can choose any name you want. Then there's a comma. And this is a depth. It's like the computer's working with things with layers. And each symbol or object, only one symbol or object can be on that layer at a time. So the main, what we drew, that stuff there is on layer 1, so we're going to put this stuff on layer 10. That's just, or on depth 10. We're going to use a variable called movie clip number, capital M, capital C, capital M, N, movie clip none, and we're going to equal that to 0 with a semicolon. And now we're going to do an interval. I've done them before. I'm going to call this interval call flake interval. That's its name. You can give it any name you want. Equals set interval, small s, capital I. This will turn blue if it's spelt right. Open bracket. And this is the function that this interval is going to call up. It's called another flake, small a, capital F. I made that name up. Comma. And this is the time. So we're going to call it every 100 milliseconds, so every 10th of a second, I believe that would be. Close bracket, semicolon. And here's that function we're calling up. So far so good. Function, F-U-N-C-T-I-O-N, that turns blue. And the function we're calling up here is this another flake. So you can copy this another flake and type it and paste it in here. Open and close bracket. There's the open bracket for the function. And down here is the closed curly bracket. So open curly bracket for my function there, close curly bracket for my function here. And we're going to start off here with an if, capital small if, that turns purple. And if, open bracket, that movie clip number, that's that variable we're going to be talking about here, so you can copy that and paste it in here. If that's less than, I'm going to put less than or equal to. I always like that. Less than or equal to 50. So as long as I have less than 50 snowflakes, this is going to generate another one for us. So less than equal 50, close bracket. Here's an open curly bracket for this if statement. And down here is the close curly bracket for this statement. So the next line says, there's a variable. It's t, just called t. You could call it what you want. It's called t, and that variable is then it's got a full colon, and that's going to be the movie clip that we're going to be actually dealing with at any given time. Okay, and we'll keep generating these movie clips, like I say, till we got 50 of them. So that movie clip, capital M, capital C, that turns purple, and the movie clip is equal to whatever we have up in this holder, movie clip. So holder underscore MC, there's a period after the MC. We're going to attach it. Attach movie clip, small a, capital M, that turns blue. Now, here's what we're attaching. Open bracket, quotation mark, snowflake underscore ID, close quotation. That's the identifier we gave that movie clip when we made it. Remember, we went and gave it to properties, comma, and now we're going to say that is going to be turned, that individual movie clip is going to be turned into finally the last movie clip, which I'm calling flake. So after the comma, quotation flake, capital F-L-A-K-E, close quotation marks, plus the movie clip number. That's that number up here that we're generating, and when I first start off, that number will be 0, so the first movie clip flake will be called 0. Then we're going to add 1 to it, so then I'll have a movie clip called flake number 1, flake number 2, flake number 3, like that, and it's going to generate those automatically for us. So after this movie clip num, there's a comma, and we got to come up again with one of these depths. So after the comma, there's that holder movie clip. That's that one that's way up the top here that we did there, and that's the one we're talking about. I want it to say, look at that movie clip wherever you got it now, period, and get the next highest step to that. So this will automatically create a new depth for it each time. And this get, small g, capital N, capital H, capital D, if you spell it right, that'll turn blue. It has open and close brackets for its parameters, and then finally this is the closed bracket for this whole line, which starts here. So there's an open bracket, close bracket, and a semicolon. And now there's that movie clip num again, so you can copy it and paste it here. Plus plus, that just means add 1 to it. And every time I add 1 to that, I'm creating a new movie clip called flake 1, flake 2, flake 3, and so on. Semicolon. Now we want some parameters. Up here, that T we've been talking about, that whole movie clip, we're going to give that some parameters. So that movie clip T, which is flake 1, flake 2, and so on, period, underscore X scale. That's how wide it is. That is equal to, because it's symmetrical, that same T, period, underscore Y scale. So we're changing them both at the same time, equals math random, capital M, period, small r. And this is a really good, this is going to create random sizes for us. Open and close bracket. And how it works is, this math random generates a number from 0 to 1. If I want my range, whatever range I want, that's what I'm going to multiply it by. So I want a range of 80. My range is going to be 80, so if I get a number between 0 and 1, I'm going to get a number between 0 and 80. If I add 10, I can go to 90. So this gives me a range of from 10 to 90. And what that is a percentage of what the drawing that we made when we made that movie clip. So the one we made was the biggest, that would have been 100%. So we're going to go from 10 to 90% of that. That's what size our snowflakes will be. Back to this T parameter, or T variable, period, underscore X. This is where it actually sits. And in our case, we want them all to sit somewhere on the x-axis. And we're going to use that math random again. Capital M, period, small r, turns blue, open close bracket, times, that's the same as this one here, the asterisk, that's times, capital S, T-A-G-E, period, with, small w, that turns blue. So again, because this generates a number between 0 and 1, and I multiply by the width of the stage, will either somewhere from the 0 all the way up to the far right hand side, it'll start dropping these snowflakes. And we want them all to start well above the stage, And so therefore the t of all these with t period underscore y, so the y-axis of all these is going to be equal to minus 50. And again, semicolon here, I don't know if I said it, semicolon here, semicolon here. And the last thing we want to do is give them different opacities, which is called alpha. So the variable t period underscore alpha, alpha turns blue, equals math random, and we're going to do the same thing, open close bracket, and we're going to go from a range of 20, so we're going to go from 80 to 100. And finally, at the very bottom, there should be 2 closed curly brackets. And if we dotted our T's and crossed our I's and test this, there they are. Now, they're falling fast. We don't want that, and that's easy to fix. So let's go. So I liked everything else. So open the library, and I think it says flake 1. They're falling fast because we are going very far with them very quick. Let's click like this much of it. See that? And drag that up. And drag that up. And I'm just going to click here and push that back there on there. So let's see what this looks like. This will give them more time to fall. Ah, there they are. And let's really quick look at what we had in that. Back to the main timeline. Just, if you want to change some things, if you want more snowflakes to be on the stage, make this a larger number. If you want less, make it a smaller number. And naturally, you can change these to get how big they are. If you want some bigger ones or you want some smaller ones. That's enough for this video. I'm going to make another follow-up. It'll be titled Flash Tutorial 71, Dancing Snow People. So if you plan on doing that part, make sure you save this FLA. I hope you learned something from this tutorial, and I hope you use what you learned.